All right, let's take a look at questions 35 through 38. So we're solving equations. So basically I want to know what's the value of P in 35. What's the value of P that will give me a true statement? As I mentioned before, a true statement is something like 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Right? That's a true statement. Now, a false statement is something like 2 plus 1 is equal to 5. Right? That will be a false statement. So I'm just looking at what's the value of P that will give me a true statement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate my sides through the equal sign. I don't want to deal with fractions. I see a fraction here. So that's the first thing that I get rid of. I'm going to get rid of fractions. The number in my fraction, the number at the bottom is a 10. So let me multiply everything. I'm going to multiply everything by 10. So let me multiply this by 10, and this by 10. Some numbers are going to get bigger, but at least I'm not going to have fractions because this 10 with this 10 are going to cancel out. So now I have 10 plus P is equal to 20. Right? 10 times 1, that's how I got the first 10. And I have the P by itself, and then 2 times 10, that's how I got the 20 at the end. Okay, I want the letter by itself. So this positive 10 on the left side, let me move it to the other side. I'm going to switch the sign. So now let me move this as a minus 10, right? I switch the sign. So now I have that P equals 20 minus 10 is 10. So P is equal to 10. As I mentioned at the beginning, right? The initial question was 1 plus P over 10 is equal to 2. I just found the value of P that will give me a true statement. So if I check this as 1 plus 10 over 10 is equal to 2, right? 10 over 10 is 1. So in reality, is 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yeah, it is a true statement. Now let's take a look at question number 36. First, let me separate the sides through the equal sign. I don't have fractions, which is good. Okay, so I want the 10b. I want the term with the letter by itself. So this plus 10, I'm going to move it to the left as a minus 10. Gotta switch the sign. So now I have 90 is equal to 10b, right? 100 minus 10, that's how I got the 90. Okay. In order for me to get the b by itself, when it comes with a number next to it, let me divide both sides, in this case by 10. I'm gonna divide them by the number in front of b. So let me divide by 10. I know on the right side, the 10s cancel out, so b is by itself. On the left side, 90 divided by 10, right? Use a calculator if necessary. 90 divided by 10 is 9. So b is equal to 9. For your homework, you don't have to type in b equals, just type in 9. Now we're also going to have some word problems. It's easy when everything was in symbols. We have to solve for a letter. Now when we have it in words, we're going to write it algebraically. Algebraically basically means in symbols. So here it says, how old am I if 500 reduced by 4 times my age is 152? Okay, so when we don't know the value of something, we replace it with the letter. So to begin with, it says, how old am I? So I don't know my age, or I'm asking the age, right? I don't know the age. But it says 500. So let me write 500 reduced by, so minus 4 times my age. I'm just going to write 4 times x, right? The unknown here is my age. So I'm going to write it as a letter. So 4 times x equals 152. Okay, now that I have it in symbols, I can easily solve this. First thing I'm going to do, let me separate them through the equal sign. I want the term with the letter by itself. So this 500, let me move it to the other side as a minus 500. So I have negative 4x equals. Now here I have 152 minus 500. Usually what we do when the signs are different, I subtract the values, 500 minus 152. So 500 minus 152 is 348. And I keep the sign of the large one. So in this case, negative 348. Now to get the x by itself, there's a negative 4 in front of it. So let me divide both of these by a negative 4. So I get x by itself. Negative divided by a negative is positive. 348 divided by 4 is 87. So x equals 87. Now here, Hasra rented a bike from Jacob's Bikes. It cost $12 plus $3 per hour. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So far I have $12, I guess, for some paperwork. Sometimes when we rent something, we have to pay for paperwork. So $12 plus $3 per hour. So let me write 3 times x, because I don't know how many hours Abhasra is going to rent the bike. Now, if Abhasra paid $30, so the whole bill came out for $30. Then she rented the bike for how many hours? So yeah, I'm going to solve for x. Let me separate them through the equal sign. I want the 3x by itself, so this positive 12. Let me move this to the other side as a minus 12. Right? Don't forget to switch the sign. So I have that 3x equals, now 30 minus 12 is 18. To get the x by itself, let me divide by the number in front of x, in this case 3. So I get x equals 6, right? 18 divided by 3, 6. So Abhasra rented the bike for 6 hours. Let me zoom out so you guys can see what we did today. That's what you should have in your notes.